quite some time after that, I set out to find out more about dreams, to record my own dreams, to collect dreams from people who volunteered to be involved in my research process and project. As, you know, asked everybody, all and sundry, if you ever have a dream, please tell me about it if you can. And I would talk to them about their waking experiences. And equally for myself, I started the process of waking myself up at night time to try and get more dreams, because I knew we were dreaming every 2 hours for a bit of time. And I captured a great many dreams from myself and from other people. And when I compared them to waking experiences, it became apparent, more often than not, it was readily apparent after a period of reflection, that the dream metaphorically represented or was connected to events that occurred whilst we were awake. And that was happening with sufficient reliability to give me confidence in my hypothesis that dreams symbolically expressed emotional issues from being awake, and in that process possibly discharged the emotion. But up to this point, I only had correlative evidence. I didn't have causal evidence. So I decided to do a proper scientific experiment. In a proper scientific experiment, you have predictions. You predict something will happen because of your theory. So I set out to predict my own dreams. This will be a proper scientific experiment. If you can set predictions and then record the dreams and show the dreams, the predictions fulfilled in the dreams, you will have done a classic scientific experiment. This had never been done before in dreaming, as far as I knew. Somebody setting out to predict their own dreams. But I decided to do this. And the methodology was that I would keep a little notebook with me whilst I was awake, and I would make a note of all the emotional issues that arose during the day. And then I would use this as a list of predictions for dream themes that would occur that night. Now, of course, one of the problems with doing this experiment might well be that I would not remember the dreams. So to ensure that I collected as many dreams as possible, I decided that I would set an alarm clock and wake myself every 2 hours and see what dreams I would be able to record. I decided to have the experiment last for a period of 1 week. And so, for each night of that week, I had a list of predictions which I formulated before I went to sleep.
Sorry, carry on.
I had a list of predictions which I formulated before I went to sleep. And then I would wake up every 2 hours. A lot of the time, I would actually wake up before the alarm clock. My brain was getting conditioned to wake up after a period of REM sleep. And I would have a notebook and I would write down the dreams. And then in the morning, I would have a look at the dreams and at my list of predictions to see, had I accurately predicted my dreams? And the experiment was progressing, was due to last for a week. But by about the third day or so, it was becoming clear that the hypothesis at best could only be partially correct. Because although some of my predictions were turning into dreams, a lot of them failed to be turned into dreams. More upsetting still, a lot of things that happened the previous day that did not appear to be emotionally significant to me were turning into dreams. So there was something seriously wrong with the hypothesis. Now, the good bit was, it was very clear that the dreams were metaphors connected to waking events. That part of the hypothesis was validated. But they were not the most emotionally important events, were not becoming dreams. They were in some cases, but in a lot of cases they weren't. Events that appeared to be of minor emotional import were actually being converted into dreams. So there was something seriously amiss with the hypothesis. But by now, I had the bit in my teeth for dream research. So I abandoned my official PhD research at this point in time and decided that I would concentrate for 6 months on dreaming and just get this little problem cleared up. As it turned out, it took many years to complete my dreaming project. So I collected for quite some years. I kept collecting dreams and getting accounts of people's dreams, collecting my own dreams, looking to see if I could discover what was the basis. What was the basis that nature used, or the brain if you like, the brain used to select from our waking experiences the subject matter of dreams. There had to be a scientific explanation. There had to be a reason why nature chose some things to become dreams and ignored other things. And this went on for some years. And what became apparent to me during those years of research was that stuff that happened whilst we were awake did get turned into metaphorical dreams. But it was never an exact copy of what happened when you were awake. There was always a twist to the dream metaphor. It always included some additional piece that actually hadn't happened. So there was some twist always in the dream metaphor. Yes, it was connected to this row. Yes, it was connected to that event. You could see the metaphor there. But it was never an exact replication of what happened whilst I was awake, or in other people equally. There was always a twist given in the dream. So that was very fascinating. Why was the waking event being twisted, being changed in some respect in the dream? So as I say, I went on for years and years doing the research, obsessively collecting this stuff, trying to discover, and I made no further progress. A point came where I actually had to abandon the research, to be honest. I had to abandon it. I mean, I had to get on and make a living and get a, I was married by now. I was starting to have a family. I needed to get my career going. So I decided to stop the research project. Stop it. I had wasted too much time on it. I decided I'd salvage something from the years of research by publishing a paper showing that dreams were connected to waking activity and that they metaphorically represented certain waking activities. Why they were chosen, I didn't know. And why they were given a twist, I didn't know. But I could at least show that there was a connection. Dreamings were metaphors and they were connected to waking activity. So I decided I'd publish a paper with that fairly limited discovery.